Good morning. I'm Jasmine Anderson. Fire ripped through part of a Woodbury apartment complex. It happened around 1 a.m. on Fairhaven Boulevard. Officials say the fire started in a ground floor apartment and quickly spread to the level above. Everyone made it out safely, but one firefighter was treated for smoke inhalation. Residents from 6 apartments were displaced. The cause is under investigation. Only Newsday, new concerns on Long Island after the Trump administration stopped construction on a New England wind farm. Work has been halted on Revolution Wind. Ørsted, the company behind the project, is also the developer of Sunrise Wind, which has already begun off the coast of the island. 3 years after this devastating fire, ground is ready to be broken on a new village hall in Great Neck. The fire sparked by lightning destroyed the building. Work on the $14 million project on Middle Neck Road could start next month. Hollywood stars came out in full force in the Hamptons to save a historic Manhattan landmark. Mark Ruffalo and Robert Downey Jr. were 2 of the actors who read all of the president's men last night at Guildhall in East Hampton. Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein were also there to talk about their investigative reporting on Watergate, immortalized in the 1976 film.
So I do believe in the power of cinema, and I believe in the integrity of journalists.
The event raised money for a community performing arts center based in the West Park Presbyterian Church on the Upper West Side. Korean culture will be on display this weekend in Huntington. Korea Festa is Saturday through Monday. You can dig into homemade dishes, authentic street food, and sip signature handcrafted drinks. There'll also be dancing, crafts, and games. Should be a great time. Checking out your Tuesday weather, it'll feel a little cooler out there today and for the rest of the week. You're looking at a beautiful sunrise here at the corner of 39A in Southampton. There's some traffic out there, but it shouldn't be too bad. It's sunny with highs in the upper 70s and a bit of a breeze. Tomorrow and Thursday, clouds move in ahead of possible rain Thursday night. Friday, the chance for showers and thunderstorms stick around as we head into Labor Day weekend. It's dry Saturday and Sunday. Labor Day is mostly sunny with highs in the 70s. No complaints there. That's a look at your 7-day forecast.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Island homes and businesses save with solar for over 20 years.
Some North Fork residents say a sickening smell is forcing them to stay indoors. Now the state DEC is investigating. Virginia Huey has the story.
In this quiet corner of Calverton where livestock roam, neighbors are making a lot of noise about these mountains of compost piled up on Youngs Avenue.
It's impacted everybody in the neighborhood. We can't come outside the house, can't breathe, runny eyes, headaches, flies. The smell is unbearable.
Robert Herring says his next-door neighbor, Joseph D. Figueroa, started dumping the compost pile shortly after purchasing the property last year. D. Figueroa owns Patriot Recycling in Oceanside. The company accepts construction and demolition debris and yard waste and sells filled dirt, topsoil, mulch, and compost, according to its website.
As August 8th of last year, he started bringing raw material to this property and dumping.
D. Figueroa secured a town permit to reestablish a tree farm at the property in February, but town officials and neighbors say no planting has occurred yet. Neighbors say the site is being used as a dumping ground masquerading as a farm. Steve Upperly lives across the street.
My wife is dealing with nosebleeds every morning, and I wake up with headaches. I also go to sleep with headaches because I'm usually working from home. But it's very unpleasant.
Residents' complaints led Riverhead code enforcement officers to post a stop work order at the property. The owner was issued 11 violations, ranging from littering to violating the stop order on July 30th. That's according to records obtained by Newsday through a Freedom of Information law request. The State Department of Environmental Conservation told Newsday that the agency has launched an investigation into the site. The agency says an inspection took place on July 30th to measure compost piles and verify their contents. Stephen Lasquadro, an attorney for the property's owner, blamed the odor on a fire at a nearby recycling facility and said the tree plantings are scheduled for later this year.
All my livestock has been affected by this.
Herring and his neighbors say the stop work order has helped, but they won't stop making a stink about the compost piles until they're gone.
We want everything that's on this piece of property taken off the property, because of right now it still smells and you just can't come outside.
Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Virginia, thank you. Read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Only Newsday, how to get the best mortgage rate as Long Island home prices continue to rise. Newsday business reporter Jonathan Lamantia says the process starts before house hunting.
Different mortgage professionals and consumer finance experts that I talked to broke down into a couple different steps, right? You need to kind of prepare your finances, and you might want to start months before you're actually looking for a house. You want to figure out the right loan type for you, and then you also want to potentially shop around for different lenders to figure out who's offering the best rates and what's the right fit for you. There's a few kind of key sort of like financial vital signs that lenders are going to look at that you're going to try to optimize when you're applying for a mortgage. One of those is obviously credit score, and so you're going to try to make sure you don't make any late payments, on things like your car, or there's also debt to income ratio, which is going to look at all the different debt payments that you have and compare that to what you're bringing in on a monthly basis on income. And often, one rule of thumb is about 36%. You want your debt to income ratio to be there or a little bit lower, and that'll just kind of vary based on your lender, what they're looking for.
Jonathan, thank you. Read more about mortgage rates on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
You're about to learn a lot about bowling. Not so much the sport, but the sweat and science needed by a maintenance worker to keep the game rolling here at All-Star in Riverhead.
Chris Keller, owner of the All-Star. I've been doing this for 40 plus years, and I love my job because I make people smile every day.
First, let's talk about the lanes and the oil coating them that affects each player's frame.
The oil in the middle of the lane, the center out, is heaviest. And it's kind of like the deep end of the pool. And then as you go towards the gutters on each side, there's less oil.
Just so you understand how meticulous you have to be, there's oil down this lane and you have to make sure it's a certain amount. But one thing you also have to remember is that the ball collects oil as it's rolling. So even if you're in your first frame, it could feel a lot different than your last. Now let's head behind the lanes. Where several pin machines are not only re-racking pins, but also rotating them. So no one pin takes all the damage from a barreling ball.
So there are different ones, being the head pin, the one next to the head pin, which gets the most impact.
And according to facility manager Tim Gaffney, not only will a worker have to use their eyes to spot a damaged pin, but they'd also have to be able to use their ears.
You see this pin, and if I drop it, you hear that? It's kind of like a dud.
Yeah.
Right. So now if I take this pin, which is brand new, and I went...
So you could hear it. Lastly, let's not forget when things go wrong. That's what this entire wall of spare parts is used for. Because if a lane goes, the maintenance man has to quickly go to work.
You do have to be very mechanical, I think, because there's many moving parts in the pin spotter. So I think you have to have the background of being mechanically inclined.
Keller says anyone looking to become a bowling maintenance man has to be more than just good at the game. But if they can stick it out, the game, the science, and the environment all make it worth it.
The key thing is, I think all of us here are happy to do what we do because we bring a lot of smiles to people's faces.
Ken Bufa, Newsday TV.
See more LI Work segments on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming on Local Now, YouTube, and the other services you see right here. More news coming up. I'm Jasmine Anderson.